Thank God it's Wednesday. Welcome to the greatest business show on the internet. This is Booze and Biz. Cheers. My name is Nick Glassett. I'm the owner of The Jump Off and the owner of Let's Get Lit Christmas Lights. I'm excited to drink some tequila while we talk business. Drinking kind of a weird tequila. Well, not weird. I've just never had it before. El Jimador. It's pretty good little tequila. My wife stopped to grab me some tequila and they didn't have what I asked for. So this is what I got. And like I said, it's pretty good. So I'll be drinking tequila while we talk some business. And it's great to see everybody's faces in the Zoom room there. If you guys want to join the show next week, you can. It is free. It is open to anyone. So if you want to go get the link for that, you can go do that. Link is in the description of the YouTube and podcast right now for you folks listening to the recorded version. And you guys on Facebook. Ooh, I never put the link in Facebook. Shame on me. It's coming. It's coming. People are asking for it over on Facebook. Putting it right now. Booze and Biz. Bam. Okay, there you go, Facebook. You guys can join. I'm going to pin that in about 2 seconds. And then you guys can get into the Zoom. Okay, back to what we are doing. Let's see. Yeah, so you guys in Facebook, jump in the show right now if you guys want to ask some questions, interact in the Zoom. I love seeing a whole bunch of people in the Zoom. So come on in here. It'll be a great freaking time. All right. So thank you guys so much for stopping by. I absolutely love doing the show every Wednesday. It is labor of love. It does take a little bit of work, but I'm finally getting good at it after a year. So it's not too bad. So, and then I also want to say it's awesome to have freaking amazing sponsors like Magic Jump. We just actually recently unboxed a new combo from Magic Jump. And wow, dude, it was very, 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 very impressive. I was blown away by all the little teeny tiny things. So if you guys want to go check out that video, go to my YouTube channel. It's the last video that was uploaded and you guys can watch that. And then as you watch it, I say in the video, I'm like, I bet we missed some features. So if you go down and scroll through the comments, there's people in the comments going, you missed this, it does that. You missed this thing. So it does more things than they even thought possible. Super cool. So if you guys want to go get some badass stuff from Magic Jump, go to their website, magicjump.com. They are running a special right now, 30% off all licensed inflatables. So you can get your Disney, you know what I mean, your Frozen, your Mickey, you can get your Marvel. They got freaking Star Wars, Jurassic Park, all of it, Avengers, all 30% off right now. So go over to magicjump.com and check out some stuff, get some good deals for Labor Day. All right, so here's the show, or here's the deal for the show tonight. So last week we decided to kind of keep it a little bit tighter. So we went ahead and did like, I don't know, like a 2.5 hour show, something like that. But I really, really liked a little bit of a tighter show. So tonight we're going to do two different things. We're going to either shoot to go about 1.5 to 2 hours, right? Keep it compact. I like that it adds a little bit of urgency. You guys got to ask your questions now because you can't wait freaking 3.5 hours to do it later. The other part is I left my charger for my MacBook at my office. So we're running on battery power only. It is a brand new MacBook and it is full battery. So I think we'll be good. However, if we run out of battery power, then we're screwed and we're going to be ending the show earlier than we thought. So without further ado, let's jump into the show tonight. So it's August, okay? What that means for most people watching, listening, and live on the show right now is you need to start thinking about what the hell you're going to do to make money in the winter time, okay? So what if I told you that I know of a business that you can start tomorrow with zero money down and you can make between $20,000 to $50,000 doing it all alone? You can make $100,000 if you have one other crew, right? So you probably need 3 people to do that, but you can make $100,000. And this is year one. This is year one. You haven't even touched anything yet because you don't know about this. Okay. Most of you probably actually already know what I'm talking about. Okay. But if you don't, this business that I'm talking about is the Christmas light installation business. What, Nick? That amount of money is just, it's not possible. Yes, it is. And let me tell you how. Okay. So I'm going to go through a little bit of a story here, right? So I started Let's Get Lit. Okay, Let's Get Lit. It's my Christmas light installation business. I started it with no car and no ladder. That's correct. Okay, so I borrowed my buddy John's ladder and I borrowed my dad's truck, which note I later bought with Christmas light money. And then I started putting up Christmas lights, right? So how did I do that? It was actually scarily easy. All right. So my next door neighbor, Lori, said to me as we were walking home from the bus stop one day, she said, I bet people would pay you to hang their Christmas lights. I thought it was a good idea, and I was looking for any way to make money at the time because I'd quit my job. So I literally went inside, sat at my computer, did about this much research, and then started. I mean, I made a Facebook ad. Sorry, that's giving me way too much credit. I made a Facebook marketplace post. Okay, I literally made a post on Facebook marketplace. I made it look like I was selling Christmas lights, and then when my post was approved, I changed the wording so that way it was Christmas light hanging service, I think is what I called it, right? That post drove me clients quickly, all right? I then went to their houses with graph paper and I talked to them and I drew up a quote and I did all sorts of shit. I measured things with tape measures. I had no idea what I was doing, right? But then I sent them the quote on Facebook Messenger, and literally days later, I started hanging Christmas lights. Now, that's like this great romantic story, right? Except for the fact I leave out that I literally did it all wrong, okay? So I was showing up to their house and hanging Home Depot and Walmart lights that, like, whatever they had in their attic. It was hard ass work, okay? And it was very complex because the strands of lights are random lengths depending on what you would buy, right? And I'm not joking, I charged about 15% what I should have been charging. So to kind of put that into perspective, imagine starting a bounce house business and renting out like combos for like $45. That's about how much I was charging for this Christmas light service that I'd started, right? However, I was totally clueless. So I actually thought I was a genius. I thought I had created an entire industry that didn't exist. Man, oh man, was I wrong. Okay, but I didn't know any of that yet. So the next year, so that was 19. That was 2019. So the next year is 2020, right? The jump off had been crazy busy. So I decided I'm going to start earlier, but start earlier ended up being about November 7th, something like that. Okay. And I remember telling my wife, I'm going to see if I can make $8,000 hanging Christmas lights. Okay. That 2019, I made like 2,200, 2,400, something like that. $8,000 hanging Christmas lights. My forever skeptical wife laughed in my face. All right. So I decided to double down and I bought my first ever Facebook ad. Okay. About 3 days into the season, it was obvious that not only was I going to probably hit my $8,000 goal, but I couldn't do it alone. Okay. I was that freaking busy. So I recruited the help of my friend Brooke, okay, who she's actually now the co-owner of Ray's Booking with me. So shout out to Brooke and shout out to Ray's Booking. And so she started taking the calls, measuring the houses from Google Earth, sending out the bids and doing kind of everything in the office, so to speak, so I could go hang the lights. Okay. She was out of work for 2 weeks because she got COVID. So she was sent home on pay for 2 weeks. So she worked for me. Okay. I was still too busy even hiring Brooke. So enter into the picture my first employee, Colin Corrales. Shout out to you, Colin Corrales. We hung some lights that year, my friend. That was a good year. Okay. Who Colin is actually my next door neighbor, Lori. It's her son, right? So kind of full circle a little bit there. But anyways, we worked our hands to the bone to that November. And here we go. Here's the drum roll. In revenue, we did $21,000. $8,000 goal. We did $21,000 and we killed ourselves doing it, right? I went back after the season was over and checked out all the conversations that my Facebook ad had generated and everybody that we booked, over 10K. Over 10K from my goofy little Facebook ad. I thought I was like a wizard, right? So during that season, like kind of towards the middle-ish, but like early middle-ish of that season, I found out that you're actually supposed to like supply the lights for them, but like not Walmart lights, not Home Depot lights. There was supposed to be something called commercial grade lights. Okay. What the hell are those? Where the hell do you buy those? Stay tuned. I'm going to answer that question for you. But okay. So I started looking into it. And like you make the lights fit their house and then you store them for them and you cut the line. It was like kind of all crazy. Okay. Here's the nutty part, right? Doing them that way, you're supposed to charge between $7 and $8 a foot, even up to 10, depending on the house. Okay. Brooke was cured of COVID and had to go back to work. So I actually hired my mom, right? So my mom took over where Brooke left off. And now my mom is doing all the measuring and talking to clients and doing all that stuff. Okay. And so we ended up getting busy, right? You're cramming jobs in. The end of the year is coming up. Okay. I thought I was being greedy, but I kind of was like, I don't give a fuck. Okay. I had her bidding jobs at $225 a foot, being greedy at $225 a foot. Okay. In the beginning, it was like $1.50 a foot is what we were bidding. Okay. So me personally, I actually said the words numerous times. I would never do this commercial light thing. I would never do it. I like giving people Christmas. I enjoy showing up and hanging their lights for them and having that service. I was making like $100 to $150 an hour. I thought I had it made in the shade. Okay. Well, in 2021, Mardi Gras canceled due to COVID. They announced that in December. So after the season was over, I saw the opportunity to go put up lights on houses in purple, green, and gold, right? For Mardi Gras. Well, the only way to do that is if you use commercial grade supplies, because you can run any color bulb you want with commercial grade stuff, right? So that's the only way I could get purple, green, and gold. So I had to do it. I had to bite the bullet and start hanging lights the commercial way, right? So fast forward to the end of that little Mardi Gras season. In Mardi Gras, okay, which is a big deal in Louisiana, but like nothing's compares to Christmas, right? In Mardi Gras, I spent what little money I had on supplies and ended up doing over $21,000 in revenue, right? So Mardi Gras beat Christmas. And here's the kicker. I did it with 1/5 of the clients, 1/5 of the work. Okay. Wow. Changed my mind on this. I changed my mind. I remember like texting Colin, I was wrong. Okay. We're doing these next Christmas. We're doing these commercial things next Christmas, right? So here comes Christmas 2021. I was scaling the jump off as fast as I could. I was spending all the money on the jump off. So I spent what little money I had on supplies to try kind of like get the first jobs done. It was like, I seriously spent like a little over $5,000. I remember maybe $5,500. Okay. And I had the goal of doing 50K in revenue, but really what I wanted, I need you to mute that. I need you to mute that, please. Really what I wanted is I wanted to do $100,000. Sorry, hold on. Told you my wife's not here. Okay. What I really want to do is 100K, right? So I had the goal to do 50,000, but what I really wanted to do was 100K. My wife, when I told her this, my wife literally like laughed at me, super skeptical, and walked away shaking her head. I'm not making that up. Okay. The only person that actually even believed in me at the time was my father-in-law, my wife's father. His name's Mike. Hey, mom's home. Go find mom. I just saw her pull up. Go get her. Go get her. Don't break my stuff. Oh my God. Okay. Anyways, so Mike, right? So I had told Mike I want to do 100K and everybody else laughs at me, but he like believes in me. So shout out to you, Mike. Rest in peace, brother. Thank you for believing in me. Okay. So anyways, off we went. So all the jump off guys in 2021 start hanging lights, right? I hired 2 new guys that only worked at the light company. And I was spending money as fast as I could to try and keep up with demands of the business. We ended up doing for that year in revenue, drum roll please, $121,065. Okay. We only flipped, and okay, this is an important part of the story. We only flipped 2 clients from the old we hang your lights model to the new like real professional way of doing lights. We only flipped 2 clients to that. Okay. So my entire book of business to do $121,000 in revenue, my entire book of business was brand new clients minus 2 people. Okay. So year 1 of doing lights the correct way, we do over 120K, or let's just round down. We say we did 115,000, right? In new clients. Okay. Not mentioned in any of this story is just how much fucking fun this is and how much fun we had. Okay. Not mentioned in this is how rewarding it is when you finish a job and you look up and the house is just beautiful and glowing. And then you look down the street and your house is 15 times brighter than any other house on the street with their garbage freaking store-bought lights, right? Not mentioned in this story is how insanely rewarding it is to get handed a check for the balance of the install and the check's written out for $4,250. Okay. But that's not even the best part. The client hands you a $4,000 check with tears in their eyes because of you. They're allowed to have Christmas. Without you, they didn't get Christmas because they can't put Christmas lights on their monster house. Okay. That brings me to my next point. Nick, who the fuck pays that much for Christmas lights? Okay. Now I want you to think back to recently this summer, the last time you were in the neighborhood where the NBA players and the NFL players live. Okay. You see how crazy those houses are, how big they are, how complex they are. I can tell you with certainty that I'm the only person that they can hire that can get lights on this monstrosity of a house they have. And guess what? They have plenty of money to spend. So their $7,700 light install doesn't even faze them one bit whatsoever. They don't even care. Okay. You don't have an NFL team. You don't have an NBA team. Fantastic. You still have doctors. You still have lawyers. You still have a guy that owns 4 car dealerships. You still have wealthy people no matter where you live. I don't care what you say. Okay. Now, there's 2 reasons here that I have a Christmas light tattooed on my hand. Reason number 1 is because you can't make a bounce house look tough enough for a fucking tattoo, dude. You can't. Okay. But mainly, though, is my absolute love for the Christmas light install industry. I have it tattooed on my hand. Okay. Now, with this business, potentially, you do a good job. We're talking generational wealth that you can make here. Okay. So that $7,700 house that takes 4 hours to install with 4 guys and costs $1,500 in materials, next year takes 1 hour to install with 2 guys and costs $0 in materials. Okay, let's recap that. $7,700 this year.
Can I see that Christmas light again?
Who's talking?
It's me, Freddie. I want to see the tattoo again.
Oh yeah. Oh, there you go. It's upside down. Can you see it? No. There we go.
Yep, I see it. It looks like a strawberry.
Hey, it is. It is.
I'm just kidding.
But yeah, so you're gonna do that $7,700 house that's gonna take 4 hours to install with 4 guys. Okay. Year 1 costs you $1,500 in materials. Next year takes 1 hour with 2 guys and costs 0. Okay. Do that for a decade. And guess what, my friend? You are a millionaire. And you guys, anybody on this Zoom or anybody on Facebook Live right now, or listening on the podcast or watching on YouTube, you guys know I'm not like some crazy salesy guy. I'm not pitching goofy ass courses, right? But if you do that for a decade, you've made yourself a millionaire. And that's, you got to do a little bit of, client nurturing, but like it's residual, dude. It's residual, $7,700. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Now we give a 10% discount, but like, there you go. Okay. Now here's probably the best part. The millionaire part might be the best part, but this also might be the best part. Everything I'm saying, you work 6 to 7 weeks a year. You work 6 to 7 weeks a year. Okay. So now here we go. I've got 2 pieces of great news for you. Okay. I've solved the 2 largest issues of getting into the Christmas light install business. All right. Problem number 1. How the hell do I learn this all, dude? Okay. Good question. And the answer is I personally will teach you. Okay. So I have a Christmas light training in Atlanta, and that's on September 13th. And we have another one in Dallas on September 26th. If you come to the class, okay, I'll teach you everything you need to get up and running, and you can go make 100K year 1. If you have the help, you can go make 50K if you go hustle alone. All right. Better, I will get you a discount on your supplies for life. For life, you will get a discount on all the supplies you buy. Okay. $100 reserve your seat at that class. Okay. And the total cost of the class is $800. So $100 reserves your seat. Then you got to show up to the class and you got to pay the balance of $700. If you want to bring a co-founder with you, it's an extra $100. You can buy those seats right now over at thejumpoffstore.com. Just go to the heading. It says trainings. Click on that. It's the only thing that'll pop up. It's Christmas light trainings. Go to thejumpoffstore.com and check out the trainings if you guys want to come. If you guys have questions, if you're apprehensive, pretty much all the people that have bought tickets so far had questions for me. Just DM me. I'll answer every single question you got. Messenger, Instagram, whatever you got, however you guys want to get a hold of me. Okay. And then, okay, so what about buying the supplies? Like if you go look, if you've looked into this business at all, you go to the internet and type in like Christmas light, and it's just like, you're just absolutely bombarded, right? With where to buy supplies. What do you buy? How do you know what to buy? Okay. So we've made it easy for you. We've made it easy for you. You can just buy all of your supplies from me. Yeah, that's right. Well, really from us. Okay. So you can buy all your supplies from us, is to be more accurate. Okay. So I am super freaking stoked to announce the launch of letsgetlitsupply.com. Letsgetlitsupply.com. Okay. So here we go. We are going to be, we're aiming to be a one-stop shop, right? We're ready to launch. Okay. And so we're still adding products, but we're going to be able to carry every single thing you need, every single thing you ever see in any of my videos, all the tools that we use out in the field to make our installs easier, right? From pitch hoppers to goat hooks, we're going to carry all of that. All right. As of right now, we're ready for you to buy your supplies. Okay. So we've got all bulbs, we've got all socket wire, we've got everything you need. Okay. So to get this store launched has been a little bit of an undertaking here. Okay. But Matt from Big and Bright Inflatables, along with Michael Ray from Inflatable Company 85, those two together actually co-own a Christmas light installation business in Dallas. Okay. That's how this partnership all makes sense. Okay. So those two and I have teamed up to bring you a shop that you guys can trust. Okay. We will always bring you the level of customer service that you can come to expect from both Big and Bright and from myself. All right. And we're going to supply you with all your Christmas light installer needs. All right. So the site's up and ready to go. So if you guys have ambitions of starting the Christmas light installation business now, you guys are ready to go. You can go buy stuff from us tomorrow. Okay. You don't know what the hell to buy. That's totally fine. That's totally fine. Okay. You don't know if you should buy 12-inch spacing or 15-inch spacing socket wire. You don't know what 50L is or 70L is when it comes to mini lights. What are mini lights? Okay. Do I need 5-inch ground stakes or 7-inch ground stakes? We have the answers to all of that. And of course, if you've ever interacted with any of us, you know we're going to answer all those questions and we're going to guide you all the way through buying this. So super excited to announce the launch officially of letsgetlitsupply.com. Yes. And then jumpoffstore.com if you guys want to go check out the training. There we go. There we go. There we go. That was a long story time, dude, but I'm super excited. So we've got, let me change our view here so you guys aren't looking at my face only. And then, hold on, I've got to get this over here. And then if you guys got questions, you guys can ask questions. But Matt and Mike are in here. So if you guys want to chime in and talk up, let's get lit supply and kind of talk about the project. It's been a fun ride.
Man. It has been a labor of love, that's for sure. But we got it up and rolling, and it is ready. Just a couple little housekeeping things. We are ready to take orders at preseason pricing, but we'll be shipping like the second week of September. So be to you way in plenty of time to get, before you're actually hanging anything. But we'd love for you to go check it out. I've been just chatting a little bit here in the chat, and so I've already put the link there. But yeah, he put it up on the screen. Just sorry, I got a bunch of kids in here, but just very excited and grateful. And it'll be, like you said, same level of service that you've grown to come from all of us. We're super excited.
Yeah, it's gonna be badass, dude. I'm super excited for this. So it's kind of I feel like it's a long time coming. I sold a lot of lights for other companies last year via affiliate links. And so when Matt actually came to me and pitched this idea to me, it was kind of like I already had a lot going on. Okay. But I was like, there's no way to say no. There's no way to say no. We got to make it happen. And for those of you that already are in the business that haven't seen this yet, I'll make a whole like fucking TikTok reels. I'll make all the shit for this because this thing's gonna be badass. But check this out, dude. It's a plug to eliminate the males and females on like jumper cords. This thing's going to save you money, save you time. It's going to be badass. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, that's okay. Just come to the training and I'll teach you up. I'll learn you up good. So yeah, Matt's asking about starter kits. So yes, Matt, we will have starter kits. We'll probably have, we'll have different lengths. Obviously, I think probably like 150 foot is where we'll start. And then we'll run them up from there. And then we'll also have number of houses. So we'll have a 1-house starter kit, a 5-house starter kit, a 10-house starter kit, and it'll just be everything you need to. And those starter kits they'll be priced accordingly, right? To where it's not going to cost you any more money, but it'll be nice and compact. So that way you don't have to go through and cherry pick everything and then, or try to get one of the three of us on the phone to ask a bunch of questions. You can just go in and be like, all right, I want to buy a 5-house starter pack. That way I can know I can do 5 houses. Boom, and you'll be set to go. So they'll be on there. Give us some time.
Yeah, and just on the website, there's a chat widget bot thing there. It's going to come straight to my phone, so I can respond really quick there if you have a quick text and don't want to call me in the middle of the night or whatnot. So that's an easy way. And then also Big and Bright Inflatables on Facebook.com. Love to respond there too.
Yeah, we got
Michael Ray on Facebook.com or on Facebook.
Yeah, Michael Ray. There's a couple people I've already started talking to. So yeah, we're definitely really excited to get the ball rolling and start getting you guys to make purchases online, man.
Yeah,
I chimed in a minute ago because he was talking about that $7,700 house. Michael and I we got this call. We were like, man, this is early in the season. Let's both go on it. We show up and it's this nice, huge house. Anyway, it ended up being like $9,300 before we walked away. And we were like, they're never going to say yes to this. And they're like, how much down do you need? We're like,
they don't
which
care.
acting all calm. And then we got in the car and just like freaked out. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And they've already reached out to us this year to add on. So
yeah,
that's another good thing about with the lights. Every year, typically they want to add on.
Yeah, all super good stuff. So, all right. Do you guys have questions? Let's see. I'm gonna check Facebook too, but you guys have any questions for us? Like, what you guys got? Yeah, I shouldn't say do you have questions. I should say what questions do you got? Because we're ready to rumble, dude. We're ready to answer.
We've always taken 50% down. I do think that's pretty standard across the industry. I've never had one customer balk about it. So if it's our average last year was about $1,100 job. So let's say, it's $1,000 job. We say, hey, we just take 500 now and 500 on the day of install. And it's never been a problem. Nick, you take 50 down?
No, we switched to 30 this year. I'm switching down to 20. The reason I'm going to do it is because, but in the beginning, definitely take 50s. When you're first starting, take 50% deposits because that's how you can start this business with $0. You just get your ad up and running, right? And that's going to a credit card and you start getting bids out there. And then when you get a yes, you take a 50% deposit, then you take that money and then you go to Let's Get Lit Supply and you hook it all up. And the 50% deposit of house one will potentially, right? Depends on how big the job is, but potentially buy lights for 3 to 5 houses for the 3 to 5 next houses after that, right? And then you can also go buy your ladders, your ladder racks with all that money if you don't want to put capital in up front. I didn't want to do that. That's not how I did it. I bought a little, like I said, I spent like $5,000 up front to kind of get a bunch of stuff. That way it just made me feel more comfortable. But then once we were established, I switched down to a 30% because I wanted the money when we did the job. It's just more satisfying, I guess you could say. This year, I say I'm going to switch to 20. I'm threatening to switch to 20. I may or may not. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. But this year, one thing I'm going to change this year is I am going to take a deposit on the reinstalls. So last year, we didn't take a deposit on the reinstalls. And then we had to chase down like 3 or 4 people for payment of the full thing after, you know what I mean? So we're not doing that this year. We're taking a 20% deposit. For sure, it'll be 20% deposit on reinstalls. It's good, helps us generate some revenue. We're going to start sending out those messages next week. So it'll help us generate some revenue in August, because I got to go buy some more ladders. We're looking to scale big this year. So I got to go buy a whole bunch of crap. So that'll be good for that. But in the beginning,
we just sent all of ours out and didn't take one. So you're kind of making me regret that a little bit, Nick, but
yeah, I mean, we were fine last year. I literally actually still have a person that never paid. I cannot get a hold of them.
You didn't collect, I guess, when you showed up. You collected at the end. I don't know.
Yeah, because we got there to install and we knocked. They weren't there. This reinstall took 14 minutes. So it's not like we were there for very long.
Right.
And then and then knocked again. They didn't answer. So Cassie invoiced the guy on like where we were chatting, right? And nothing. I Facebook stalked them. I sent them messages. I sent them 2 things in the mail. So aside from show up in person and knock on the door, I've literally done everything. But it's just kind of one of those things where install to reinstall, we couldn't get a hold of him. He finally reached out. I'm like, yeah, bro, we can't fucking find you. So he's like, yeah, we need the Christmas lights. I'm like, okay, we'll be there. Like, we'll get it this week. Like, it'll be a quick one. No big deal. And then we couldn't get a hold of him after that. So I'm waiting for him to get in touch with me sometime like November 3rd. I'll be like, absolutely, bro, I'll be there. And I'm gonna show up and be like, JK, I need double payment. But it is what it is.
Yep.
We still have the lights, you know what I mean? So it's not like it's a total L. It was 14-minute job. So I lost
Right.
on $18 an hour because I did it with one guy. So $18 an hour, and then whatever 14 minutes costs. I mean, that was the cost of the thing. So
We
asked balance due before install. Typically, no. Like generally speaking, balance due after the install is how everybody does it. Like everybody does it. Aaron's asking ballpark on the starter kit prices. Man, I'm sharp, but I ain't that sharp. So I will get back to you. I'll send you a message tomorrow, though. I'll make a note right now to send you a message tomorrow, Aaron, on the starter pack.
Nick, we could probably ballpark real fast if you were to say like like a 1,000-foot starter kit is somewhere in like $1,800.
There you go.
That's probably pretty accurate. Pretty
Yeah,
close.
like and it's not going to be 3 houses, right? If you go land freaking Shaquille O'Neal's house, you're going to need 2 starter kits for 1 house, right? But it'll basically be your 3 average houses. So it'll come with 3 timers, and it'll come with right. But it'll work all together. So it'll come with the socket wire. It'll come with 1,000 bulbs. Yeah, so everything will be on the up and up.
Yeah, I don't see why you would, because the socket wire is 1,000, right? So the starter kit probably makes the most sense for us to do 1,000 feet with 1,000 bulbs and 1,000 clips, and then the connectors and everything for that.
Yeah. Spool of zip wire. 50. No, now we're gonna have the 1 plug. That's gonna throw a wrench in everything. Yeah, it'll be super cool. So for those of you guys that are new, it'll be super convenient to just buy that. Probably like 2 runs of that, maybe 2 5-house starter kits or something. And then once you're installing and you have hands on the product, it really, you become an expert really fast, and you'll know like, no, I don't need to buy another starter kit because I've got extra zip wire, but I'm low on females or whatever. And so then you can start to cherry pick and buy what you need. But I remember that being stressful year 1. Like, why? Like, right? And there's no help out there. Like, if you guys think that the bounce house business is dramatic and parochial, just wait till you get into the Christmas light business. It's like turf wars, gang wars. It's crazy. You go in any Facebook group but mine and ask for
There's nobody jolly at Christmas lights.
No. You go post in the Christmas light, any Christmas light Facebook group besides mine, and you'll just get destroyed. 1 good answer. Destroyed 1 half good answer. It's brutality. Like, there's nobody that'll help you. It's crazy. Let's see. What color lights to buy at first? So warm white, it's called sun warm white, but like that classic bulb, right? That's number 1 by far. Red is number 2. Pure white, which is like the way I describe it to clients is like, it's like a sheet of paper white, right? That sun warm white is that yellowish hue, whereas pure is like sheet of paper white. That's making a run and getting super popular. So those are your 3 main ones, and then a little bit of green. And that's generally speaking all you need. Last year, randomly, we did a ton of multi installs, which is red, green, blue, orange, yellow. So the year prior, we did like 2. Last year, we probably did like 15. I have no idea where it came from. But we sell the pack, right? You can buy a box of 5 bulbs that comes with equal parts of all those colors. But sun warm by far will crush everything. And sun warm is great too. Like, my guys would bitch last year. They're like, well, all right, what are we running today? I'm like, you're doing this one. You're doing the hips and the ridges. It's a big fucker. It's $5,500. Sun warm white. Like, oh, warm white again. I'm like, I don't know about you guys, but I wanted to carry 1 bulb on my truck. I want to just screw. I don't want to have to worry about a pattern. I love warm white. Like, I want everybody to just be warm white. The patterns are fun, but warm white's easy. I like it. Stacy asked 12-inch or 15-inch spacing. So this is Open to debate, I guess you could say. Okay. So number one is open to debate. Number two, I do use actually both. I do use both. So on the rare instance where we have, generally speaking, I run 15, right? The houses are so big and tall that 15 looks gorgeous, right? But if you do land a house, like on my house, 12 looks better, right? Because I live in a normal people house. So a normal house, 12 will look way better, right? Some people run nothing but 12. The math is easier, right? Because it's a bulb every foot. And so math is super easy. You know exactly how many bulbs you need. You don't ever have a calculator out. You don't ever mess anything up. With 15-inch spacing, there's a quick little math equation to figure out bulbs per footage after you, when you're up on the house measuring. So it really comes down to personal preference. 15-inch spacing saves you money as an installer, right? Because you're using less bulbs, less clips. It makes us more money as a distributor because you got to buy more bulbs, more clips. Okay. So you know, I'm being honest here when I say 15-inch spacing is generally speaking the industry norm, unless you're going to do a small house, then do 12. And you can actually get, and we don't have it yet, but we will, you can get 24-inch and 36-inch spacing. I've never ran 36, but I've ran 24 on a huge, call it a hotel. It's not a hotel, but it looks exactly like a hotel, like an old hotel, and it's 7 stories up. So you run those wider bulbs because from that far away, if you do a building that big from that far away, your 15-inch spacing right from the ground, the bulbs start to kind of run together. You want them spaced apart. But
I never wanted to know what kind of ladder to use. If you can only afford one ladder, I think you probably need a 24-foot extension. But I like to run. We had some 24s, some 28-foot extensions. We had some like 8-foot step ladders. And you use them for kind of different things. What's your favorite ladder, Nick?
so we run 3 on every truck. So we run a 22-foot little giant with the leveler legs, like they're little. So when you open the ladder up, if it's unlevel ground, there's little extender legs. It's heavy, but you put it in A-frame mode and you can climb both sides of it. And then in a pinch, you can open it up and make it a tall 22-foot ladder. Like I said, it's heavy, but it's the best thing ever. You can make it to where it tilts this way. If you got stairs to go on, it's the most versatile thing ever. So we have one of those on every truck. We have a 24-foot extension ladder on every truck. I like to buy, they're rated by how much weight you can put on them. The more weight you can put on them, the heavier the ladder gets. And I can tell you this, when you send something 24 foot in the air, a little bit of weight turns into a lot of weight. So I like to buy the Werners that are green. They're green on the ends. They're rated for 225 pounds. And then the last ladder we buy is the dreaded 32-foot extension ladder. It is absolutely brutality how heavy it is. But when you're doing those big houses, you got no choice. You have to run it. You have to use it. They're hard to find. They generally speaking, I could go to Home Depot. They're the blue one, which is rated for 250 feet or 250 pounds. And they are so heavy. It's mind blowing. Like it's a 2-man job. Like I can manhandle it one-handed because I've been doing it for 4 years. But generally speaking, just moving the ladder is a 2-man job. You can get those in the green 225 pound. I'm definitely going to order 2 of those this year because the mere thought of lugging around the fucking blue one again is just like, I want to die. But those are the 3 ladders that are on every truck. Those are the only 3 ladders that we use. Little giant 22 leveler, 24-foot extension, 32-foot extension.
I forgot about one I used, and then people are wanting us to move on, so that's fine. Mine is a A-frame, 7.5 foot, but it's got like the pop things in the middle, so it can go straight up, and then it becomes a 15-foot extension. So I can get on the roof on a lot of things, or A-frame for a lower roof to be just hanging stuff quickly. But you have to figure out how comfortable you are on a roof, and that's where the pitch hoppers, that's where other pads, that's where I'm trying these shorts out this year for my steep gear. We'll see some different things, but there's lots of ways to feel more comfortable on a roof.
Oh, I know the shorts. I saw those last year. Yeah, you have to let me know how those go.
I'm going to go try them in an hour or so. I'll let you know.
Okay. Let's see.
I was waiting for it's like so freaking hot here. I was waiting for the roof not to be, 1,000 degrees to go try. So
Oh yeah, bro. It was like 102 here. I've never seen it over 93. It's been over 100 like 20 of the last 30 days. It's insane.
It's
Nick, I
nice and
gotta
cool.
roll.
Nice and cool in Buffalo.
I bet too.
Everybody, thank you. Y'all have a great day.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks a lot. Look forward to working with you. Bye.
Matt, it's nice seeing you. I just missed you, man.
Hey, Justin, we need to chat sometime. Lots of things going on, buddy. We'll see you.
Yeah,
Bye,
I'm down
guys.
to talk.
Yeah, let's see. We'll I'm gonna see if I can my Facebook already broke on my computer, so I'll have to get on my phone here in a second. But I'm gonna try and hit a couple of the questions from over there. Let's see. Somebody's Taylor Bundy said he's blocked off Marketplace. You don't market on Marketplace for the Christmas light installation business. I just did because I was like going after the cheap jobs or whatever. Hunter Bates said hard work, sign me up. Yeah, it's hard, but not really. It's not really hard. How do they send a message or something? Oh yeah. Let's see. Any message? Is there a certain place to bid for jobs? Gina asked that. Is there a certain place to bid for jobs? No, there's no marketplace where you go like find people that want Christmas lights installed. I don't know if that's what you mean. If that's not what you mean, you measure your houses on Google Earth, and then I use an app or a service. It's actually a service called Jobber. So Jobber is kind of like Event Hawk meets Inflatable Office all in one. No, it wouldn't work for the inflatable business. It's not that kind of thing. But for any service-based business, it's fucking the greatest thing ever. So Christmas light installation, if you're a pressure washer guy, if you're a landscape lighting guy, if you're a lawn care guy, Jobber is the greatest thing ever. Not Google Maps, got to go to Google Earth. Google Earth has a ruler feature, like a measure feature, like you click and it tells you how far it is. It's really pretty freaking accurate too. If you want to know how to do that, I have a YouTube video buried on my channel about how to measure for Christmas lights using Google Earth.
Nick,
yeah, what's up?
give me the rundown, man. If you're like a fat fuck up north and you don't want to get on roofs, or you're old or something like that, what's scaling a Christmas business like? Like, what, you got to find a couple of roofers that don't want to work in the winter and you want to do some Christmas lights? Like, I feel like there's a lot of roofers that probably do this during the winter that aren't working. I'm just curious about it, honestly. I don't necessarily want to put anything more on my plate, but I get to answer some of your questions sometimes. You know what I mean? When people ask me like, "Yo, what's up with the Christmas lights?" I'm just like, I have no fucking idea.
Yeah, so
like, I have no clue.
So, I mean, you can run it however you want to run it. There's a guy that installs locally to me that, like literally actually taught me how to do it. Like he was like, bro, I got a job tomorrow that's kind of big and I need some help. So I'll teach you how to do it all if you come and be my helper for free. So that's how I learned. And he's afraid of heights, like literally afraid of heights. Like
I am too. I don't like heights.
Yeah. So he runs.
All can attest to this.
So he runs, right? He runs a lot more of the business side of things where he does the talking to the customer, right? He doesn't have a office person like I have Cassie to do all that, so I can be out having fun out in the field.
I can bid like a motherfucker.
Yeah. So, and then he sends his guys out on the jobs. You know what I mean? And his guys do almost all of the work.
But he's still got to know what to do though, and he's still got there's got to be a level, like, what's training like? Like, if I wanted to train, besides probably, like, obviously you're gonna tell me to send some of my guys over to you, which is a no-brainer. But
no, I mean,
no, for real. Like, if I don't know how it would look like. I feel like, I don't know. That's pretty much all it would be. Just sell some Christmas light jobs, and then it's just like I said, man. Dude, you don't know what the roofs look like sometimes over here, especially.
Well, I do. There's a guy named John that's up. He's not in Buffalo, but he's somewhere over there. He actually might be in Canada. I think he's in Canada.
There's a dude in Buffalo over here. It tells me not to do it because he doesn't want me to be his competition.
Correct. That's
but
the
like
light industry for you, bro. It's very territorial. But
I'm in the bounce house industry. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, I had a meeting yesterday with a guy. Not only is he a Christmas light installer near me, but his company's called Lit Lighting. He's badass though. We had a meeting yesterday, like not a meeting, like a whatever. We had coffee. He's badass. We're buddies. He's gonna buy a lot of stuff from Let's Get Lit Supply because he's like he'll be able to come pick it up in person from my warehouse, and he's great. I'm out to do the best I can to change the Christmas light industry to be a friendly place, not a bunch of dickheads. But that being said, no, I mean the training.
Man. I'm not gonna lie. I just want to like reinvest and mess around, and in the winter, all I do is YouTube. But if I can just do sales, because I'm really good at automating sales now too. So if I could just mess around with that a little bit, Christmas lights, hit up some of the bigger jobs and stuff, some of the freaking schools. They got a bunch of Chick-fil-A's around me. You know what I mean?
Yep, you're talking all the right language. The good thing about it is you can do whatever you want, right? So if you want to be overly ambitious like I am and go after everything, you can. If you want to nip cherry pick whatever you want, like I don't know if Matt's in here. I don't think he is, but Matt Blakemore came to my Christmas light training last year, and he's like 45 minutes away from me. He's right over in like the Baton Rouge area. He did like all houses like in his own neighborhood, you know what I mean? They were all not his own neighborhood, but like those style of houses, like regular people homes is all he did last year. And he's like, dude, I'm making a killing. He was selling it. If I remember right, he was selling it a lower dollar per foot than me, but I mean, every job was like 45 minutes. You know what I mean? And he did like 15, 16, 17, 18 houses. I wish Matt was in here.
Because you're building into the prices that you do service and shit. So every time something fucks up, you lose money, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So that when you do the farther away, then you know what I mean. That's when you get, because inevitably a bulb goes out or whatnot, and they're always mansions. And I get what you're saying. So the farther you go, it's just like the blower went out at that hour away job. Like you're fucked.
Correct. Yeah, we had lights blow off of the house an hour and 20 minutes away last year, and I couldn't make it. I think I was at IAPA, actually. It might have been during IAPA. And so like one of my guys drove an hour and 20 minutes. It took him like, I don't remember, he timed it. That was 4 minutes, 8 minutes, 9 minutes, something like that, to rehang above the garage and reinforce it with some clips and drive back home. I'm like, I just paid so much money to rehang like 20 Christmas lights.
And you couldn't cost anything or anything, but like I'm like I don't know, my business mind goes weird like in certain shit. Like we would like, it's weird in that situation because you can't be like, oh well, if we come out for over this amount of pairs, like you're not basically guaranteeing your work then. You know what I mean? But like I'd want to get a pay after a certain point, but it's like it's weird.
I mean, you're charging so much money for these. I mean, our average job. Matt said their average job was 1,100. Our average job was 2,100 last year. Average job 2,100. So it's like if a bulb goes out and they text, like it's fixed. There was one day like we were out installing, like it was a regular day of installing, and then I was just kind of like feeling it, bro. And we had like 4 service calls come through, and I said fuck it, and I just went and I drove around till 10 o'clock at night, fixing a bulb, fixing a plug, whatever, like figuring out why this bush is broken, and I just grooved for like 17 hours that day, just go to do the service calls. I had a good time though. Like I said, I was just in that mood. I didn't delegate any of it. I was just like, you know what, dude, let me go mindlessly fix things all night long. It'll be fucking great. It's kind of like a Rubik's Cube, you know what I mean? But basically, yeah, and Matt's kind of asking the same thing. So Matt said, what time frame do you get for service calls? 48 hours? No. 24. If you can't get it tonight, it needs to be fixed before dark tomorrow. That's basically the policy. Because again, they spent so much money, you know what I mean? Now, if there's some crazy circumstance like that, those lights that fell down that were an hour and 20 minutes away, it was her second year with us. Year 1 was perfect. Nothing ever happened. Okay. And those fell down. And so I text her, I'm like, all right, I've got to kind of scramble and figure out how we're going to get back out there. It's super far away. We don't have anybody in Baton Rouge. We were supposed to have an employee out there and we don't. So, and she was very, very, very accommodating, but it's just like, I mean, when you roll up to a house and the lights fell off and they're like a big smiley face, it's the most embarrassing thing you can imagine. And so it only has to happen once for when they then happens again and they call you and tell you it did that it's like, I mean, you leave the job you're on when you finish it and go straight there. Like you call your wife, you're like, I'm not coming home for dinner tonight because I got to go drive 20 minutes over here and rehang all these lights. Like because you take care of the people that much, because it's a weird business, because it's rich people, right, that spend a lot of money with you. That's why you can make so much money. But at the same time, they're Christmas lights. They're fickle. It's a fickle bitch, right? It's electricity. You make your own plugs. They have a GFI. Like, there's all these components that go into it. So problems do arise no matter what you do. And so the faster and more aggressively you attack the problems, the more.
I want to add something to that too. Honestly, though, Nick, and you're talking about time frames and stuff up north. Like, you don't got to deal with this shit, but it takes longer to get anywhere in the winter because you got to go through snow.
Right.
Like,
people know, like,
your hour drive in the summer, it's an hour and a half, 2 hours if it's snowing. Which I would assume that, like, you probably have a weather policy, like, oh, okay, we're gonna fix your shit within 24 hours. But if it's a rainstorm, like, we're just gonna wait till it's done.
Yeah. So that's so yeah, we don't have snow, but we do have crazy storm fronts that'll blow through, where it's like 30, 40, 50 mile an hour winds for like 4 minutes, right? Just as that storm front comes through. And every time one does, I just text the group text. I'm like, all right, be ready, because tomorrow's going to be service call city, because that shit's knocking down shit everywhere. You know it is. And so then we just wait. And basically, like, we had one last year that, no, not last year, the year before, that happened, and it was bad, like bad. Like, I knew this was going to be bad. I knew this was going to be like 15, 16, 17, 18 houses. And so one of them came through, and it was the one person in my neighborhood that had we put lights on her house. And so I went and fixed them, and I almost fell off the roof fixing the dormer window because it was like wet. I was just being dumb. You know what I mean? But it was just like, I knew.
No, this is the only call, and you're being all stupid about it.
Yeah, because I knew there was going to be a million service calls, and I was right. There was so many. So I was like, I'm just going to go. It's like right there. It's seriously a 1 minute drive. I'm like, I'm just going to go do it. And then I had to get on the roof to fix the dormer window. It was dumb. But
wait, you did it in the storm?
It was no, it wasn't raining anymore. It was just
okay.
a front that came through. And so then it was like cool afterwards, you know what I mean? But stuff was wet. It was bad. But Justin, to kind of answer your original question there, the training is not super intense by any stretch of the imagination. That's why my trainings are only a day. Like, you just don't need, right? I just don't want to sit in a room and go over like EIN and LLC and da-da-da. Like, no.
No, that's gotta be a general
everybody
class
knows
in
that.
general. It could be a general business class. Which,
Yeah,
honestly, if anybody really wants to fucking take the time or throw money at it, they could throw money at LegalZoom or take the time to learn on YouTube themselves. Because that's basically what I did for my LLC.
Yeah, that's probably what everybody in this room did, right? So I breeze over all of that. You know what I mean? And then get into the good stuff, which is client acquisition, right? And then how to bid the house, how to measure the house, how to talk to the client, sales scripts. And then we work with the product, in our hands, right? Like hands-on product. And then lots of questions come up millions and millions and millions and millions of times, but I try to keep it as concise. That's why I keep it a day. I'm like, dude, I don't need people flying in, paying for 2 hotel rooms and that many rental cars or whatever. Like I'm going to teach you exactly what to go do, but I'm not going to, the class is not like a 101 business 101. Like, there's things I leave out on purpose because it's like, if you want to be an entrepreneur, you got to go be an entrepreneur.
You should do a higher class and have people come down and do it in person and one-on-one, like they do with the freaking they do with the sewing. I might take that class this summer.
Oh yeah.
I don't even need to, but I might just do it for shits and gigs, just for more technical know-how, so I can explain it to you guys if I want to.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I'm actually going to test that. I'm testing that for the bounce house business, not for the Christmas light business, but I'm testing that for sure. Well, the guy has to say yes, but almost for sure. Yeah. As long as he says yes to the price with the bounce house business. And then I've got one other one where she wants to come down here and pay money to come down here and learn in person. So I am going to test.
Bounce house business you can't do in a day though. That's like a whole 3-day thing at least, the very least week, or 3 days to a week. Whereas in like if I wanted to come down and spend a day setting up Christmas lights with you, and you gave me a rundown of like in the morning, 2 hours, and you gave me like we did like 1 or 2 jobs with like a little in-person training session, one-on-one in the morning. Like I bet you could do that shit in a day. That should be fire.
Yeah, and
Another
a
question that I
couple
have
of
for
my
you.
guys could do it too. Like
Yeah,
Trevor,
that's what you say.
Trevor could for sure do it. Isaiah could for sure do it. Logan could probably do it. So
Especially if it was written out by you too. It all like actually like all the procedures and stuff, and like organized by you, so that like they have more structure to train it.
yeah, yeah, because I could show you how I keep everything organized. Like that's the part of this business that gets so fun is that like, and by fun I mean stressful, is like everything it just turns into disarray in like the drop of a hat. Like you're behind schedule a little bit, and then you start putting males and the females. You start you're throwing red bulbs into the warm white bulbs in the back of the truck. Like fuck it, let's just get out of here. Then you get back to the shop and you're like, oh my god, now we got to either sort this all out or we got to do it in the morning. Yeah, that part's fun.
So if anybody wants to ask questions, go ahead and ask some questions. I'm honestly genuinely interested in this. I do want to ask like one more question too, but like as far as like light bulbs and crap, like are you pretty much just doing white and then multicolor and that's it? Like
No, we do. So we do a lot
like
of.
you do the Mardi Gras or Mardi Gras colors and stuff too. But
Yeah,
like I mean like in the winter.
Yeah, so we'll do predominantly sun warm white. That's what almost everybody wants. Everybody has their goofy little name they call it. Some people call it clear light, some people call it classic, whatever. That's what you do the most of. Then second place is generally speaking some sort of red. So whether you do
Okay.
we have somewhere we'll do red and white on the ground and white on the house. We have some we'll do like a candy cane pattern on the house with red and white.
Okay.
But yeah, and then we do some that are red, white, and green. It looks like an Italian restaurant when you do it. It does. As soon as you
Oh
put
yeah,
it,
red, white, and green doesn't sound right, but they do like those multicolors with like the purples and
yeah. So last
the
year
blues and
we did a lot of multis, and then we did a big job. We did Jennifer's house, and she wanted a multi pattern with pink in it. So
oh shit.
we kind of played with some stuff and we got a good color pattern with pink in it, and it was fucking awesome. And then she referred her dad and stepmom, and so we show up to go do that consultation.
You know what I gotta do, dude? I gotta get my mom. My mom makes these Christmas light ornaments out of like plastic cups.
Oh
She
yeah,
just grabs a spool of fucking Christmas lights, like the ones like just a little box, and she freaking sells them for like $50 during Christmas, and she used to make a killing. Like that's
man.
how she used to feed us when I was a kid, like sometimes in the winter and buy us gifts and stuff. It's by selling some of those like little Christmas balls and stuff. It'd be such a cool little like if you had like somebody crafty around you or something or want to mess around, it'd be such a cool little like ancillary selling point for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
I don't
mean,
know.
dude,
Or even selling Christmas ornaments in general. Like, why don't you just upsell and buy Christmas ornaments in bulk? See, I am high right now, to be clear. Like I am stoned, just throwing some I am definitely spitballing some ideas right now. But like 100%, why don't you just buy a case of fucking Christmas thing? Like I know for a fact those pallet companies sell those Christmas ornaments, like or Christmas items like by the pallet. You know what I mean?
oh
Especially
yeah,
after Christmas stuff, they all work and stuff for like very, very cheap. And you could just upsell them for like the next year or something. You probably might even be able to find some now if you really start looking, but
potentially,
that's
yeah. You
that's
the
really
main
interesting. Or
upsell,
buy from China, whatever.
yeah, the main upsell generally is gutter cleaning because you're fucking up there already anyway.
That's awesome too.
But you
That's
do it
really
in,
interesting.
yeah, you got to do it in January because your takedowns, it takes 4 hours to put up, takes about like 20 minutes to take down because you just fucking yanking lights off
Well,
the house.
that depends on your area. That's really that's what you call it. That's subjective when you would want to do it. Because
Oh
you're
yeah,
telling
you
me
just
to
don't
do it
want to
in
do it in
January.
November because you're on the clock, right? Because you've got the Christmas light money coming. So you
I
do it.
hear what you're
Yeah,
saying.
you do it at takedowns.
It's not even feasible up north then. You don't clean people's gutters in the middle of January when it's like covered in snow. You know what I mean? Like their gutters aren't clean. It's just like it's just all. Yeah, no, it doesn't work like you clean. You want to make sure those are clean before the snow
Right.
hits.
Stacy,
Uh,
can you unmute and ask that? I think I understand what you're talking about, but it's hard to read on.
But yeah, you don't want to mess your
camera.
time up in this. That's really interesting.
Okay, hold on. Let me read it. So I'm assuming like as like just a regular starter pack, like 1,000 feet, you know, with your warm white, right? And then for your extra bulbs for colors, I'm thinking like half of that in just multicolors, right? But if somebody comes in and is like, and this is obviously just to start out, but if somebody comes in and they're like, I want pink in my, you know, in, like you were talking about, at that point, could you order on demand for special colors like that? Or
Yeah.
do you need to have all of that on hand all the time?
I have it like let's get lit install side. We have it on hand. So basically, year one, yeah, somebody wanted. I had a client that wanted blue and warm white. It came out pretty good. It kind of looked like Hanukkah, but it came out really good. And so like I bought enough blue and enough cool white to do his house, right? Because that's what made sense in year one. Then fast forward to year two, and especially freaking last year, when somebody would put in a weird, like when Jen wanted all that pink, you know what I mean, in her multi, right? And this house was really big, lots and lots of lights, groundwork for days. Oh my God. I just went and bought two 500 bulb cases of pink. Like, am I going to use 1,000 pinks on Jen's house? You running a multi-pattern of 6 colors? No, hell no. But it's just like, I don't ever want to have to fucking worry about it. So I pretty much have, like, I bought 1,000 pinks. I pretty much have infinity pinks forever. And then when somebody wanted, I had another one that was kind of bizarre, you know what I mean? But like, I just go buy the case of, go buy 500. Like, so one house wants pink, I just go buy 500 pinks. Like,
What about individual bulbs? When you say 500?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, comes in a case, but it sounds weird. It even sounds weird for me to say it because we're on a Christmas light season. But when you get to Christmas light season and somebody has this weird request, you just like you just buy it all. Like, who cares? Like, I don't remember off the top of my head what our cases of bulbs are, but you know, they're somewhere in the ballpark right now of like $400. It's like, you know, you're thinking that I'm a crazy person. And I'm like, you just go buy a $400 case of 500 bulbs when one person wants pink. But trust me, it's the way to do it. Like, you just buy, like, we started running low on female plugs. Like, before we had the one plug, which we're going to have this year, that was just invented. Last year, it was just all males and females, and you always used more females because you end your line in, right? So at the end of your Christmas light line, like, right, here's your socket, and then here, you can't just have this out, right, with copper wire hanging on the house. You put a female plug on the end of it. So you always run through female plugs faster. I didn't go online and like calculate how many female plugs I think I need to buy to get to the end of the season. I went online and bought like 2,000. Like, just go online, 2,000, like, just send them to me. I don't care. And the reason for that is just because you know you're going to use them. Now when you're buying in season, you're paying more money than when you're buying out of season. Let's see if I can explain this. This is a fucking really good lesson. So a bulb, we'll go with a bulb. Okay. A bulb right now is going to cost you about 70 cents. Okay. 70 to 75 cents. I think ours are 75 cents a piece. Okay. Bulb's going to cost you 75 cents. In November, like November 15th, that same bulb is going to cost you $1.05. Okay. And here I am telling you to buy 500 at a time. So 30 cents times 500 adds up to be a lot. Okay. So people start to freak out like, oh, I'm too late. I should have bought preseason. If I can't buy preseason, I should wait till next year. I'm like, no, you shouldn't, because your materials cost goes to zero in year 2, right? This stuff lasts a long time. So you're going to go reinstall those you paid more for them bulbs on the house again next year for $0. You don't have to buy anything. Then again next year, right? So over the course of the contract, even if they cancel, You just take them out and then put them back in the bin and go use them on somebody else's house, right? So over the course of the contract or the life of the bulb, the extra 30 cents you spend per bulb doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, right? And you're generating so much income in season. It's just like, fuck this. Just give me 2,000. So I know I've got enough. I've got so many female plugs left over from last year. It's stupid, right? But I know we're going to use them all. So it's all good. It's no big deal.
So, like, what type of repairs do you have to do on the equipment? Like, what type of loss of equipment do you have, and what type of loss of equipment do you hear from people up north?
The same loss is the same pretty much everywhere. You're going to have bad bulbs. So you're going to get a bag of 25 and one of them's not going to work. That's going to happen, one of every 10 times. No big deal, right? You throw 75 cents in or $1.05, whatever you paid.
Yep.
You throw it in the garbage and you move on. You're going to break some clips on takedown, but again, you go put up 60 houses, you're going to break like 7 clips. So it's like, it's so minimal. It's not even, just doesn't even exist.
About water damage and like breakage or something like that between the lines and splits in the lines.
Nope. We did have the lawn crew hit a line last year and short it out. And I had to go on site, and it took me freaking hour to figure out where the short was coming from. And then I finally found it, and they like the wire, the jumper cord that comes down from the house and goes to the groundwork was like bare wire twisted together, both sides. It was bad. And it was the lawn care guy that hit it.
And all you gotta do is basically crip new ends on and replace a piece of wire in between that spot.
Yeah, so I just took that jumper cord, so it's I don't know if I have any here. No, I don't. But it's like
it's just the cord without the bulbs in it. Basically.
Yeah, without the socket.
Just like
and
that.
Then you put your own plugs on the end. So we sell them in 500-foot spool.
So it's the same for anybody that wants to do tents here. This is the same thing we do for tents when I build my tent lights and stuff like that. It is the same exact stuff for tent lighting. It's just we use all white everything. We don't use the green plugs or anything like that. Everything's just like all white. So that's when you just, like I was saying, if you just find basically where it got hit and you just replace those two ends, you just add, you know what I mean? And you, like you said, you got plugs for days.
Yeah. I just unplugged the
with
jumper wire. I took the male and female off of them so I could save those two, right? Try and save 70 cents when you can. Threw the entire cord away, just made a new cord. Boom, we were up and running. It just took a long time to find it because there was so many lights on this house. I did troubleshoot.
So you use green. Do people usually want you to use the green ones, or is it cheaper to use white on white?
White's harder to get. White is harder to get. Just rare. It's just rare. I don't know the price difference on green to white. I used to know. I don't remember if it's the same or
get it from Action Lighting.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the same or it's not. It's just rare. You're generally speaking, the gutter is dark and the shingles are dark, so the green is a better move than the white.
Okay. Yep.
Christopher Weed runs only white. He runs only white, but he's running right. He's on houses in Arizona with the tile roofs, like the terracotta roofs, and then a lot of the light stucco. So white looks really good. Like the way Chris runs his, it looks really good. But if I ran white, it would look kind of goofy because it's dark shingles and dark gutters always.
Interesting.
Lots of fun stuff, dude. Riker, you've had your hand raised for a long time, bro. Go ahead. What you got?
Hey, Nick. So my friends and I, we booked our first event with our bounce houses, and we have 4 units, 3 little combo slides, and then 1 20-foot slide. So I was wondering, how many generators do you think we're gonna need
To run all 4 of them?
Yes, yeah.
Probably you can get away with probably 2. If you're good at taking notes, you can definitely get away with 1. But you got to run. It depends on the generator you have. Let's see. The best way to describe a generator, like what a breaker box is, like in the house, like where the breaker switches are.
Yeah.
So every switch in a house is usually 15 amps, and then there'll be a couple 20 amp ones, in the kitchen, maybe the bathrooms or outside. But on the front of your generator, they are the exact same system, right? So there'll be a little black box around the plugs, and it'll tell you if it's 8 amp, 12 amp, 15 amp, or 20 amp. Okay, so 20 amp or 15 amp can run one blower. So if you only have one 20 amp breaker inside of your generator, you're running one, right? If you've got the big 30 amp plug, it's like the circle one, you can plug it, you have to buy it, but you buy an adapter that goes into 30 amp, and then it'll split it into 3 regular plugs, 3 110s. And so you can run 2 blowers off the 30 and then one off of a 20, right? So we don't rent generators very often at the jump off. So we literally have one, but it has a 20 amp breaker that can run one, and it has a 30 amp breaker that can run 2.
Gotcha.
You can buy generators that have 5 20 amp breakers, and you can run freaking 5, and then you can run 2 off the 30. It just depends on your generator.
Gotcha. And then another question. So for the Christmas lights, I think I'm gonna do that this season. You know, it sounds like a really great kind of business little thing to do. 6 to 7 weeks worth of work. When do you think I should start promoting on Facebook or whatever it is? Like how early?
There's no such thing as too early. My Facebook ads are up and my Google ads are already up.
Oh wow. Okay.
It's very the reason is there's no such thing as too early is because nobody's looking for Christmas light installation right now, right? So they're not getting clicked on very often, so it's not costing me any money. And the people that are clicking on it are, right, probably, I'm guessing here, but I'm saying probably 50-50. Like somebody's like, oh shit, I do want that. And the other person's like, oh shit, what is that? Right. So we're educating them, and hopefully they'll come back, or maybe we can land them. We already are giving estimates though.
Gotcha. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome, dude. Yeah, you're welcome. All right, who else has got questions? Let's get some questions rolling here, dude. I'll see if I can find some on Facebook and in the Zoom too. But
what's the website look like? I want to see what the website looks like and how that booking process looks like.
Oh, it's so lame, bro. It's nothing. I'll show you. I'm pulling it up right now. But the website game is very very lame compared to the bounce house world. And then so is the insurance. Like you don't need that much insurance. Everybody freaks out. All the bounce will be like, what the fuck about insurance though? Nah, don't worry about it. You need like 15K in general liability. Like no big deal. Let's see. There we go. So here I'll share my screen, and this is on. I have this kind of optimized for mobile, so it's not super awesome on. It's not super awesome on desktop, but it is what it is. So there you go. And so basically, you've got keyword, you've got keyword, you've got the other keyword, then you've got biggest city, second biggest city, third biggest city, and then the other places that we go. Oh God, I didn't know that I had a typo right there. And then this is okay. Yeah, and there we go. You got your little Google review. We got more keywords. I got another typo right there. I just redid a bunch of this stuff. I wanted to change these and optimize these. I got them in the right size, and then down here, I thought there was more keywords. Maybe there's not. And then here's the other page. Okay, so this is built in Jobber. So this part from here on down is all built in Jobber. Okay, so you build it in Jobber, and then you go paste the code on your site. But this gives all the pertinent information, right? All their details, their address. Okay, then they can describe to you what they want. Then here's the best part about this whole thing. Okay, choose your lighting budget. The lowest they can choose is $600, and it says in parentheses, our minimum. So the reason that exists is so they click that and they go, oh, are you kidding me? I thought this would be like $100. And they leave the website and they never, ever talk to us. And Cassie doesn't have to measure the house. Okay, that is the best. Right now, every now and then they click this and then they describe a $5,000 display, right? And you just open a conversation with them. You're just like, okay, let me tell you how this breaks down, blah, 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 whatever. I included the percentage of jobs. I need to update this. We did way less of these last year, way more of these and these last year. So these 2% are going to go up. These 2% are going to go down because our average house was in this range. So these will go down from last year. But just to kind of give them a, for instance, the reason I did that was because I wanted them to pull this up and be like, oh shit, this is going to be $2,000 to $3,000. And they can see like 21% of people spend $3,000 to $5,000. Really? Like, okay, like kind of a crowdsource, like it's okay to spend that much on Christmas lights. Like that's okay, buddy. That's why I did that. But yeah, so that's all built in Java. And then the other part is this wins me a lot of jobs. I wrote this big, long freaking blog post about how I started the company and how it all worked. And it's, yeah, that I show up to people's house. They're like, you're incredible. They love us. Service area. This is a new page that is not done at all whatsoever. And then, wait, did it go? Oh, there we go. Yeah, so I built these two. So this is my own attempt at SEO. So I built two SEO pages. I built a Covington and I built a Mandeville SEO page. And then this links out to my personal blog. So we know he needs to click on that. That's it. That's the whole website. That's it. Super easy. I made it all myself on WordPress. I don't have the highest WordPress. I think that website costs $200 and something a year, something like that. Nice and easy. Let's see. Another question over here. So what are profit margins roundabout? So they move a lot. Okay. So if you're going to do this by yourself, okay, your year one profit margins will be like 60, 70, 80%, kind of depending on some factors like how you bid your jobs and right? If you continue doing it yourself year two, your profit margin's like 99%, right? Because you didn't buy anything on reinstalls. So all those reinstalls are like free. And then they give you $7,000, $8,000, $9,000, $2,000, whatever it is. And then your profit margin on your new installs year two will be lower because in January or February, not sure yet, but you can pre-buy with us. So basically, letsgetlitsupply.com, we will sell you lights and you can buy at a far cheaper rate because we'll import your shit basically from China for you of the good American brands. So you can buy, instead of spending right now, I think, like I said, we're 75 cents a bulb. It'll go to $1.05. You can get stuff at like 67 cents a bulb, right? And then everything's cheaper, kind of here or there, but everything's cheaper. So your margins on new installs go down year two, and then you get to year three, right? You have 2 years worth of reinstalls, and then your new installs, and you'll have a lot more new installs, right? Because you're an established business now. And it all drives the margin up. The longer you do it, the higher your margin goes because you've got more materials. That's kind of if you don't have employees, right? If you have employees, cool, just take payroll out of that, right? So that obviously mitigates a big chunk of your margin, but you don't have to do the work. So yeah, Google business. Yeah, Google My Business. Yep. Google business profile, the whole nine. Don't use the same phone. Let me think. Yeah, don't use the same phone number as your inflatable business. Do not. That's supposedly a bad thing. Christopher Weed taught me that. I did no research. I trusted Chris on it. So, but yeah, get a new phone number. But Jobber will give you a new phone number. Like Jobber's got its own phone number on it. That's what we use. How many jobs can each crew do a day on average? How many jobs did you do last year? So on average, it depends on the size of the home. There was a day where we did one house, six of us, one house all day long. But it was that big. It was a $9,700 job. But your typical, like your average job done by your average crew, they can do 2 houses a day. If you've got that special crew, they can fit in a third. Okay. If you're doing those smaller houses, like regular people houses, like that I was telling you, Matt Blakemore, like all the houses he did, right? Like think of like a DSL or a DR Horton house, right? You can fucking probably knock out 5 of those with 2 guys in one day, right? But they're going to range between $400 to $800 a piece, right? So smaller price, but but you can do more. So the big jobs are the way to go. Like the first year I tried to go for volume, and we kind of got in our own way. Like we missed some big jobs that we couldn't get to because we were doing small houses. Last year I went for only only big jobs. We missed a lot of money because we overbid all the small jobs so they wouldn't get in the way, and then weren't as busy as we thought. So this year we'll have the happy medium. But how many jobs did we do last year? I think we did a total of 168. I think is the number, if I remember right. That's new installs and reinstalls. Then what should we use for a new number? Oh yeah, Jobber. If you guys want Jobber, I have a Jobber link that'll get you 2 free months. It also gets me 2 free months, full disclosure. But I think I can get it to you here. There you go. Boom. Oh, hold on. Let me switch this. It's trying to DM somebody. Everyone. Boom. There you go, Jobber. Yeah, pay per hour. Easily. Pay per hour. Employee retention is mega fucking high because you can pay so much money because your margins are so high. So yes, just pay per hour. Pay starts when they get to the warehouse, right? Because they got to start loading and whatever. Pay stops after they're done unloading, right? Christmas light season is one of my favorite seasons because the fridge is full of beer and we finish work at night. So when we're done unloading the truck, there we go. We all clock out and we drink a beer together. It's fantastic, right? You don't get to do that in the inflatable business because you finish work at like 12 in the afternoon. Types of employees. Yeah, if you got high school kids that can come and be little helpers, right? Screw bulbs on the ground. Hell yeah. You just need open availability, right? Because you're going to be hanging lights. If you're a new company, you're probably not going to be hanging lights November 1st, but you'll be November 7th. You'll start to get some biz. November 15th, you'll be busy. Then the week of Thanksgiving, you'll be massively busy. The week after Thanksgiving, you'll somehow find a way to be busier. So you need open availability employees in order to come to work with you. No meth heads, dude. No meth heads. You got to remember, you're going to the nicest neighborhood near you, right? And you're going to spend 4 hours there building them a Christmas light display that they paid $6,000 for. No cigarettes allowed on site, no chewing tobacco allowed on site. Like, no. Family, sure, it's up to you. You just make sure if you're going to hire family, make sure you prioritize the love over the money, so that way you keep your family members. But yeah, hell yeah, family, hell yeah. What would I pay per hour starting out? Depends on where you live. If you're in Seattle, what I'm about to say, you're gonna laugh at me, right? But I'm in Louisiana. I'm in the lowest per capita income state. No, that I said that all wrong. But like I'm in one of the cheapest places, right? Between here, Mississippi, and Alabama, we're the cheapest places. So I start out my helpers at 15, and that's the guy that rides shotgun, screws in bulbs, measures and builds power cords, the helper. And then the lead installer, you got it. The lead installer, I start at $18 an hour. And that guy is in charge of the whole crew. And I will move them both up in pay rather quickly. Not like it doesn't happen overnight or whatever, but as soon as they're efficient, right? If they're getting one house done a day, you're not getting a fucking raise. I had that in 2021. They're like, you said you'd give us raises. I'm like, you guys are getting one house. You guys were like, fuck one. We're going to get 4 houses done. You're getting one house done. Like, you're not getting a raise, dude. No. But like, if you're out there hustling, I moved one guy last year from $18 up to 22, 24, 25, something like that. I don't remember. I'd have to go look in the records because it's not on the top of my head, but like in one season moved that far. So, let's say you're in California, right? So, we're from California, right? Our family all lives there. In California, the install price is so much higher. So the pay can be way higher, right? Like the base price out in California is like $10 a foot. And out here, it's like $7, right? In Dallas, depending on where you're at, but in Dallas, it's $5.50. In California, it's 10. Babe, you shook it, you jerk. All right, it's ready for you. But yeah, so it's 10. So you can pay more money. If you're in Seattle, mean, fuck, you might be able to $10, $12 a foot, right? So your pay will just kind of go with that, right? We're probably the lowest footage in America or close to it because of where we're at. What Facebook group is best to join? Good question. So I have one. It's called Christmas Light Business Mentors. Super small. I just started it. I started it like a couple of months ago, right? But it's not Christmas light time. So it's super small. My aim is to make that one the one where people play nice. And I said that wrong. It will be the one where people play nice because I will kick motherfuckers out if they're in there being condescending. I will. They'll be gone. I don't want that shit. The other one that I'm in that seems to play pretty nice is called Christmas Light Installers. I don't know exactly who runs that. I went and looked at all the admins and none of the people were familiar. So I'm not really sure. It's a pretty big group. It was 5,000 or 6,000. So those are the two that I would go join. There's another one called Christmas Light Contractors, where if you ask a question, you get killed. You'll get killed, murdered. You don't want to ask a question in there. So go join that one and search, but don't post. Do not post because it's full of people that will take you down. They were out for blood. Let's see. Oh, you're in Atlanta. Where would you pay in Atlanta? So yeah, you're going to be hired me in Atlanta, right? So maybe you start your helper at 18 and your driver at 22, or your lead installer at 22. I don't know. You would know. So use my example to give you in it. Yeah, if you can hire some, I just lost the word, immigrant workers, then hell yeah. Like, I mean, they work hard, they do a good job. You just got to remember though, what your clientele is, right? So you've got to have a guy on the crew that is good with people, a good leader, and is, I don't want to say American, right? That'd be a wrong thing to say. Fluent English speaker. How about that? So that way you can have the person to run the crew can interact with the doctor, right? The highly successful doctor that owns his own practice. Who else wraps the trees and slams the gutters? Whatever. Whatever. But I mean, but basically what I do is like all my guys at the Jump Off, they also work for me. Not all of them, but they also work for me in Let's Get Lit, right? There's a couple guys that don't have open availability that stay behind that I give the keys to the to the Porsche to, and they run the entire freaking Jump Off while we're out running lights. You know what I mean? But yeah, bring it over. No memes, I guess. Memes are fine. Like if you give a fuck about comedy, that's cool, but it's just got to be comedic. It just needs to be comedy. That's all. All right. You Facebook folks got any questions? Not that I see. What's a good ladder to buy? I already did that one. Scared of heights. Okay, here's a good one. So Corey Splash said, I'm scared of heights. Do you think I can do small houses and like bushes, etc., and still do good? Or will I mainly need to do super big houses to make? You can do whatever you want. That's the great thing about this. Big house comes through, and here's how it's going to go, though, Corey. Here's how it's going to go. Big house is going to come through. You're going to be like, nope, I'm scared of heights. I can't do it. But for fun, you're going to go measure it. And for fun, you're going to bid it, right? You're going to measure it, and you're going to do $7 or $8 a foot, and you're going to be like, okay, it's $7,000. So I'm going to tell them it's $11,000. Fuck it, right? Ha ha ha. You're going to send it and they're going to pay the deposit. And then you got to go ahead and hang an $11,000 house. Your fear of heights goes away so fast for $11,000. Your fear of heights goes away so fast for $11,000. It would make, it'll surprise you, my friend. But if they pay the deposit, you can refund the deposit and don't go on that job. You know what I mean? And then you can go run the small houses. Do the $700 houses. They're a lot of fun. They look really pretty. The people really appreciate it. It's great. You can do whatever you want. Like you can do whatever you want. The other thing you could do is you can bid the $11,000 house. They say yes. You can go sub it out to a big company and you can go make $1,000 and sell the lead to the big company, that didn't get the job. Like you can do whatever you want. It's super cool. Okay. I think that's all those questions. Charlie's going to try and trigger me here. So Charlie said, what happened with the Event Hawk drama? Can you shed some light on it? Do you still recommend it? I heard they're stealing money and I'm concerned. So do I know what happened with the Event Hawk drama? I'm gonna be genuine on this. No, not really. I have a personal relationship with Jana, and I have a personal relationship with Tariq, and I have a personal relationship with Joe. I have not reached out to any of the three of them. I've not reached out to any of the three of them because I figured that the truth will make its way to me whenever the truth is ready to make its way to me, right? And I'm not spiritual and I'm not religious, but like that's just kind of the way I looked at it. Event Hawk has been a major part of my success. I have collaborations I've done with Event Hawk on. I have Event Hawk rolling straps for sale on the Jump Off store right now. I spent 2 days at their booth last year in IAPA. I'm, the co-host of the Jumpstart group, this Jumpstart program, to get your Jumpstart or to get your bounce house business from 0 to 100K. Like, I believe so much in everything Event Hawk has ever done, right? I believe so much in everything they've ever done. I also know that there's this collection of people that's a rather high percentage that absolutely hates them and calls them shady and crooked, or they know what they did, like all that shit, right? But what I find so interesting is I have asked those people specifically, like literally, I've asked them face to face in human face to face. I've DM'd them. Nobody's ever told me anything that's ever happened. As a person, I'm not on the inside of Event Hawk, right? I don't work there. I don't know anybody that works there other than the people that I named. And Vanessa, like I had a little bit of a relationship with Vanessa, but like just from doing these, like I don't like know her, you know what I mean? And everybody that said that they're shady and all this shit, like they never had anything real to say, and I never could see it myself. Like I didn't get it. I never understood it. I never ever understood it. And I'm fucking good with people. Like I'm not blind to it. I pay for all of my service with Event Hawk. I do not have a single free thing. Everything that Event Hawk has ever done for my businesses has been paid. Well, actually, no, let me take that back. Joe did make me a Let's Get Lit Christmas light Google ad for free. And then the plugin or the pop-up on my Jump Off store was free, but I turned it off. I didn't want it anymore it's not, I don't even use it anymore so those two things I did get for free, but everything like SEO I paid for, pop-up I paid for, Google ads I paid for, Facebook ads I pay for every fucking month. I did just cancel the SEO just because I don't need it anymore. But I just never understood why everybody was so anti-Event Hawk. It was very, very strange to me. Right. So now Jana and Joe have left. Right. So the body of work that Event Hawk has no longer exists because 2/3 of it essentially left. Right. So now I'm left to talk about Tariq. Every interaction I've had with Tariq has been nothing but pleasant. The dude puts his heart and fucking soul into helping people as much as I do. Like, I'll put it like that, as much as I do. His demeanor is much more sales oriented, right? His webinar has a sales pitch at the end. His lesson does teach you how to do a Google ad with straight up, but then he tells you he does Google ads at the end, right? That's the only real difference between him and I. I've never seen him do anything bad. I've never heard of him do anything bad. But again, I'm not on the inside, so I don't have any inside scoop. Same with Jana and same with Joe. I've never seen him do anything bad. I've never really heard of him doing anything bad, but I'm not on the inside. Like I just have partnerships from the outside of the company. I'm not inside the company. I don't know all the drama. You heard they're stealing money. I've never heard that rumor. I've never experienced it. And never heard of anybody else saying that. And because historically I've been so close with Event Hawk, from them being very early as a company and me being very early as a public figure, and we've both grown, kind of, next to each other. I've never heard of that. I don't know of any merit to that, but I'm not denying that it may have happened. I don't know. The memes are there because one fucking guy made them all. One fucking guy made them all. Like, it's one fucking dude that made all the memes and has never posted anything prior to that and never had any information that ever, other than they know what they did. Like, it's not a anti-event hawk meme movement. It was one guy. It was one guy. And then, yes, some bandwagon motherfuckers jumped on and made some other, BS ones, whatever. They don't like Event Hawk 2. I don't freaking know. But the memes are all one guy. Like, yeah. And that's why you've seen me be radio silent on it up until this point, because the only way to look like an adult is to act like an adult. And that shit was not adult. That was not adult. I'm not saying that there wasn't some comedy to be had there at one point, but it went over the edge, and it was just silly. It was just one guy. It's one guy. His name's Carlos something or other. I don't freaking know. He's never fucking posted anything anywhere on any Facebook group, and all of a sudden it's coming out of the woodwork with the anti-Event Hawk memes. It was stupid. It was stupid. So look, more information is bound to come out. Like, that's why I've not rendered an opinion on it up until now. More information is bound to come out. Yes, I'm still a Event Hawk subscriber. That's the only way the jump off, like, literally conversates with any customers. Like, all my employees talk to the customers through high level via Event Hawk. Like, you know what I mean? It's everybody's being too knee jerk. Everybody's being too gossipy. Everybody's being too dramatic. It's just, it's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal, because at the end of the day, whether you like them or not, like, Event Hawk is a company that, offers a service. And the best way I think I could put it is, everybody gets so up in fucking arms about a 3-star review from a client that said thank you. You know what I mean? Let alone when you get the 1-star review, which Let's Get Lit has a 1-star review from a bullshit source that doesn't make any fucking sense, right? And you think to yourself, how could somebody give me a 1-star review? How could somebody tear my business down? Because in my instance, he called to see if I was hiring. I told him I was, and then the call dropped, and I was in the middle of a $7,000 job. And I literally texted him. I said, I'll call you back later. And then I fucking called him back later. But before I could call him back later, after we got off the job, he gave me a 1-star review, right? What's the difference between that and all the anti-Event Hawk memes? Like, you're just going out of your way to try and tear down a person and a company with no point. What's the point? I don't know. It's just stupid to me. It's stupid. So yeah, I think everybody should just take a chill pill. I think everybody should just wait until September or October or IAPA, right? When everything comes to light of what's going on, or what new projects are coming out, or what the fuck ever. I don't fucking know. And then we can all make a educated decision. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's all sorts of stupid rumors out there, dude. There's all sorts of stupid rumors out there that are not true. That the only thing that I will give credence to is I am gonna kind of sugarcoat this one or whitewash this one. I'm not going to give you all the fucking insider trading on this one, but when I started my Facebook group, I made the decision before I started it that there will be no moderators, there will be no admins, there'll be nobody that has any power at all whatsoever that own any company, right? It's a conflict of interest. I'm gonna leave it at that. That's it. Yeah. So in my group, I have 3 mods in my group. One is David Wagner. I don't know if David's here. He said he was bringing the heat on Christmas light night tonight, and then he didn't even talk. The other 2 work for my rental business. It's Isaiah and Trevor. They're my managers at the rental business. Those are the 3 moderators in my group. Nobody that has any skin in the game whatsoever, right? I'm sponsored by Rollsall, and the Facebook group sponsored by Rollsall. David happens to be a Jolly Dolly guy. David loves Jolly Dolly. David has a great relationship with Gary. You know what I mean? And so it's like, but he's not in there censoring Rollsall posts, right? He doesn't care. He's in there like bumping, you know what I mean? Because it's like, dude, we're in there to teach people things, and so that's the way I want it to be in there. There you go. There's my 2 cents. All right, what else you guys got tonight? That was fiery, dude. That needs to be like its own TikTok. Let's see. Question from John. All right, John Marco on Facebook asks, light question. If Google Earth doesn't have a clear picture of the house, are you just going to go out there and climate measure it? Or is there an app that can measure a picture that a customer sends? So John, it's a great freaking question because it happens all the time. So you do one of 2 things. So number 1, yeah, you just drive out there and measure it yourself. It's every time you go measure a house in person, you vastly increase the chance of landing the job. The problem is you just can't do it. Like, there's just not enough time in the day, right? So, but yeah, you just go out and measure it in person, and it's all good. It's all good stuff. The other thing that you do is you go to Google Street View and look at from the house. Once you're kind of good at it, you can just go, that's 30 feet, that's 20 feet, that's 8 feet, that's and you just right. Oh, we put them in a spreadsheet, but just type on the spreadsheet. There you go. Comes out to 120 feet. And then you just kind of like look at it again and go, okay, 120 feet. And you look at it, and you'll be able to know, like, right, because in your brain, you'll know how many bulbs that is. Like, you'll know what a 120-foot house looks like. And you'll be like, no, that's probably 130, 135. Cool. So you send the bid at 135 because you guessed, so you might be kind of high. And then what you do after every single job, you count the bulbs. And so then after you count the bulbs, you know how many feet you ran. So then you report that back to your spreadsheet so you can tell your admin that's back at the shop doing the measuring. That's how you grade if they were any good or not, right? So you get done, you do a bulb count. Turns out we only made $650 a foot on this house. That means your admin is measuring short. $850, cool. Don't celebrate though. She might be bidding higher than you want her to be bidding. So you might be losing jobs you would have got otherwise if you were at 7, right? So just kind of a good checks and balances. So you bulb count to figure out how many feet that you get. There is roofer software out there. There's one that's called, I think it's called Roofer, ROOFR. It's a pain in the fucking ass to use. So don't use that. There's other ones out there that are for like measuring for solar. There's all sorts of stuff. I don't know of any that can measure through trees though. If the roof is obstructed by trees, then you're out. You're out. Here you go. Kyle said rooforders.com gives you the rakes and eaves color coordinated. Yeah, there's another one. Roofer will do it for you. You got to pay $15 every house they'll give you, but it's like it measures everything that you don't need. Like, I had a phone call with Roofer last year, and I was like trying to figure out if we could make this work. I'm like, yeah, I can, give you guys lots of business, whatever. And I told the guy, and he's like, that's all you need? I'm like, yeah, bro, Christmas lights. I don't need to know the fucking pitch angle and all that. You know what I mean? So Google Earth is the best, but if you can't get it, either Street View and guess. Oh, and if you can't get a Street View, let's see, backtrack a little bit. So before you measure the Google Earth from the top down, you need to look at the house so you can make sure you can, right? You look at the front of the house, you're like, oh God, I didn't even know there was dormer windows there. It happens all the time. If you can't get the front of the house because it's a gated neighborhood, Google Earth car can't drive in there, you go to Zillow or Redfin or whatever your favorite real estate app is, and then you can get a front picture of the house. Have you tried OTD or Jolly Dolly yet? Hunter Bates asked if I have a one trip dolly or a Jolly Dolly yet. So yeah, I actually do have 2 Jolly Dollies. I bought one from Gary. This is a long fucking story, but I bought one from Gary to say thank you, basically to say thank you for when he closed his rental business. He referred his clients all to me. I didn't have a ton of money back then, so I bought like the manual one. And it is built like a fucking tank. I just don't like 2-wheel dollies. Like I didn't know I didn't like 2-wheel dollies, so I bought it. But 2-wheel dollies, like you just get a dolly with 4 wheels. It's way better. It's way better. And then and then I have a older chain drive Jolly Dolly that I do not know how old it is. The guy said it was from 2021 when I bought the business from him, but I don't think it is because unless he beat the shit out of it. But that thing is a fucking tank too. It's the chain drive is, a little bit finicky, but they don't do the chain drive anymore. They have direct drive. I've never tried the direct drive Jolly Dolly, but the chain drive one is well built. We haven't had any issues with it at all. One of the casters broke the other day. Somehow the washer broke. I don't know. The washer was missing, so I had to go buy a $1.50 washer at the hardware store. But that's about it. As far as one trip dolly goes, no, I have never touched one. I've never seen one with my eyeballs. I don't know anything about them other than what you guys all know about them from on the Facebook groups. I have had a pretty lengthy conversation. This is a while ago, but had a pretty lengthy conversation with Cade, the owner of One Trip Dolly. He's definitely ambitious, and he has his priorities in the right places. It's just making dollars is not easy, dude. So I think people are overly fucking harsh on Cade because he's out there doing his best he can do, dude. And you can't these things. They look like simple machines, dude. The manual ones look like simple machines. They're not, let alone the motorized ones. So my professional opinion is that Cade will get all the kinks worked out and will have a pretty fucking stout dolly soon. That's just my guess, though. I don't have any fucking insider trading on that. Oh, Justin's banning everybody. Emily's banned. Why is Justin always so unhinged? Matthew's banned. John's banned. They're all banned. Everybody's banned. Let's see. John Garcia had asked, how much do I love Tariq? I mean, I just don't have anything bad to fucking say. Like, he's just been a good dude to me. He's been a great business partner for the stuff we've collaborated on. And I've watched him at IAPA for fucking, well, I was there for 2 days, but I was right. We were putting our stuff at the Event Hawk booth, whatever. I mean, just person after person after person after person after person after person after person. Talk to them, genuinely remember people by name. Like, I don't know fucking people by name, and he does. I don't know. I don't have the information that other people that don't like him have. And I'm good with people. I'm gonna leave it at that. So, let's see. All right, that might be all the questions, dude. Anybody else got one? Oh, Gina asked if the customers keep the lights. No, hell no, hell no, hell no. Those lights are mine, and I'm holding them hostage to make sure that you install them next year. Customer does not keep the lights. No, they are my lights. All right. Don't meme in my group. Justin is in all caps tonight, dude. Oh, I know you guys can't see the Zoom chat, but it's funny. It's funny. That's a good segue to tell you guys should come to the show next week, because the Zoom chat is fucking well worth it, and you guys don't get to see it unless you're in here doing your thing. All right, what time is it? 8:49, dude. 8:49. We started the show at 7, so we're gonna be under 2 hours here. Because I'm out of free content. You guys gotta generate the content. If you guys got questions, you guys can ask the questions. But I'm pretty sure I'm out of it.
Sneaking one last question in.
Yeah, let's go. Doesn't have to be the last question. If other people got questions, we can go.
Is it possible to find free tickets to IAPA from like manufacturers, et cetera, et cetera?
Oh yeah. 100%. I had a call with Jump Orange today, and Bridget was like, "Are you going to IAPA?" I was like, "I am." She's like, "Do you need tickets?" Like, just who did you buy most of your units from?
Our first order was through Jungle Jump, and we're about to put a big one in with Magic Jump, I think. Magic Jump or Jump Orange? I don't know. I haven't decided what we're doing yet.
I don't have an official partnership with Jump Orange, so do Magic Jump and tell them I sent you, and then but tell them when you order big. But I'm only buying them because Nick said you'd get me IAPA tickets.
Deal.
But yeah, I don't know about Jungle Jumps because I have no relationship with them, and they're not like they're a good inflatable company. Like nobody's, I'm not trying to bash them, but they're not like one of the big ones that is like
Right.
ambitious about Jump Orange, Magic Jump. Matt at Big and Bright on his, in my opinion, on his way to that. HEC. I don't want to leave anybody out and fucking snub anybody. Tent Table, Bounce Wave. Did I get them all? Right. All those big ones like that are like, right, trying to take over the world. So you can get tickets pretty easy from all of them. So looks like mine are going to be from Jump Orange this year. Last year I had two sets. I had a set from, I don't actually know if Event Hawk. I had two sets though. Rocket Inflatables got me some, and then somebody else did too. I don't remember who it was.
Yeah, I got two free airline tickets from a trip we had to cancel because of COVID. And if I don't use them by the end of the year, I lose them. So I'm like, well, I might as well take a trip out and go rock some IAPA for the first time. So
Dude, it's a good time. Are you gonna be there all week?
I don't know. We'll kind of see how it shakes out. If I could pull off all week, it'd be sweet, but it might just be 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, it's if it's gonna be just 2 or 3, make them towards the beginning of the week.
Got it.
Things kind of fit, like everybody's hungover and loses their voice by, you know what I mean, Thursday.
Yeah.
But there's like so last year I was at the Event Hawk booth Tuesday and Wednesday. And I think it was Thursday was like the first day I got to go walk around, and we passed a bowling alley manufacturer or something. Like they literally they have two bowling lanes. Like there's people bowling 24/7. And they had like fucking happy hour. They're giving out Bud Lights and Miller Lights and wine and all sorts of shit. I'm like, yeah. I come back to the fucking inflatable industry and they're like, bro, where'd you get beers? I'm like, oh, they were free.
Yeah, that's sweet. Yeah, I'm excited. It'll be fun. Is it do they sell I'm assuming there's quality deals on new units or last year's model units?
Yep. So basically what will happen is every single manufacturer will have their IAPA deals, and you can get them online. Like you don't have to be at IAPA to get the IAPA deals. And there was somebody the other day, I wish I freaking remember. I can see his profile picture, but I cannot remember his name. But he knows his shit. He's a smart dude, well established, and he made like a big long, I think it was a comment on somebody's IAPA post in some Facebook group, but about how the industry's kind of changing, and all the manufacturers have too much inventory, and the deals this year are going to be like better than COVID. Like pre-COVID, like I got a 15-foot water slide and blower and stakes for $2,000. No
What?
shit.
Jeez.
Yeah. And fast forward to now, that slide's like $3,800 and doesn't come with
Right.
it. So he was saying that something about the China manufacturers are doing a better job marketing, and they're able to ship one unit instead of a pallet, or instead of a container. And so he thinks, his theory was that the sales at IAP are going to be deeply discounted compared to years prior.
Sweet. Yeah, because we're buying probably seven units here. So it's like if I could save some coin and get an 8th one, I'd be super happy.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, and you can wheel and deal at IAPA a little bit too, where, right, because they're going to bring units out that they'll blow up for the whole show, and you can buy those floor models. So we're gonna do it a little bit later in the year, but we're gonna do like a IAPA themed show, and I probably won't talk much. It's probably gonna be Mark Good talking the whole time, because he's been to IAPA like, I don't remember, he's been to IAPA like 16 times or something like that. He'll tell stories of back when it was in Vegas and back when it was, but he knows more about the show than anybody, and he'll tell you all the freaking ins and outs, the way to wheel and deal. He's the real deal when it comes to IAPA. So, but we'll have one of those shows when it gets a little bit closer.
Sweet.
All right, the chat's going crazy. I know that Justin's in here still banning people. But I thought I saw a real question. Let's see. No, maybe not. Maybe it's just all trolling over there. IAPA is banned. COVID is banned. Rocket Inflatables is banned. Nick, please announce to unban Matthew. If you say his name, he's gonna get banned in the freaking Zoom chat. So there's nothing I can do here. I thought I saw a real question. There's so much jokes going on. It's insane. Don't move my, nope, I think I'm done. There was somebody that had like a water slide question. Oh, here we go. Kids are having a hard time getting the bounce house when they're wet. Any suggestions? No, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that, Ferdinand. Like they're slipping. I don't know. You're gonna gotta give more, a little more info. Being wet's banned, so they can't be wet anymore on the units. Slipping trying to get in. I don't know. Why a magic jump unit? They got non-slip shit on the fucking entrance. It's really cool. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, man. That's weird. They do though, Emily. They do. They got that non-slip thing. It's really cool. I'm not saying steal it, but but yeah, there you go. Okay. Sounds like a show. That sounds like a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. Hunter, I'm gonna answer that off camera. Not that it's that bad, but I want to have a marketing Booze and Biz. Yeah, I'll answer that off camera too. Yeah, we're good. Okay, everybody, you're awesome. Subscribe to the channel. Everybody that showed up tonight for the Zoom and for the Facebook. We still got 10 people on Facebook, so shout out to you, Facebook. You guys are fucking awesome. You guys are great. We'll be back next Wednesday. Hoping to have a theme next Wednesday. I got to talk to Paul. We're definitely going to do a foam theme one. I don't think it's going to be next week. We're going to do that closer to Foam Universe. I want to have a marketing episode. I want to have a Christmas light episode with like a Christmas light expert, right? Maybe I'm not the expert. I don't know. And then I wanted to have one other one. I don't remember what the other one was going to be, but whatever. We're going to have some cool shit. I'm going to have some guests on. We're going to kind of do some theme stuff coming up. So stay tuned for that. You guys are awesome. Cool. You guys go to bed. What are you guys doing up this late? You guys are crazies. All right. Later.